There's someone in your energy who is planning on surprising you. This is somebody who knows that you've been waiting for them to take some kind of action for quite a while. You might have kind of taken a step back, or you've had to put up some boundaries. You've waited long enough. You've given these signals long enough. You've been as clear and direct as you can with your intentions or with what you're putting forth in this connection, and you don't really feel like you're getting that in return. This person is not giving you any sort of real-world indicators that they're on board with progressing forward, even though the chemistry between the two of you is off the charts. The higher self connection is very loud and very obvious. Signs and synchronicities are pouring in that this is the right person, this is the right circumstance. You've given everything that you've got in order to hold space for this person, to kind of allow them of their own free will to take steps towards you. You've taken the initiative in different ways to either subtly or even very directly make your intentions known, make your desires known, and this person has kind of just been at a standstill. They haven't given you a whole lot to work with. And so this is somebody that senses like you're detaching, or you're kind of moving into that energy of needing to just do you, needing to do what's best for you, needing to be realistic and honor what it is that they're showing you in this circumstance here. What's up, guys? Welcome to Twinflame Tarot Psychic. My name is Leo. Let's go deeper into today's reading. If they're not putting in the effort, you can't continue to knock on a closed door. You can't continue to pour your emotional energy or your time or even invest in the hope that something will change because you've given this enough time. You might almost feel that it would be dishonoring to you or in disservice to you and where you're at in your journey to continue to just feed into what you might perceive as sort of an illusion at this point. You might be like, maybe my intuition was wrong, maybe it was off, or you're kind of just chalking it up to it's the earth playing. We all have free will. Just because there's chemistry, just because there's potential, just because what you have with one another so far might have been interesting, might have been intense, might have been on certain levels satisfying, it takes two to tango. If this person is not putting in that sort of joint effort, then you're feeling like you need to cut your losses and move forward. And so this person recognizes that time has sort of run up, or it's running up in this circumstance, that the ball is in their court or has been for quite some time. And so this is the sense of wanting to change the way that you're thinking of them, wanting to change the way that you're viewing this situation. This may be somebody where change is very difficult for them in general. They're very sort of slow to act. This may be somebody that habitually and historically has missed out on opportunities for themselves in life and in love by just kind of sitting in that energy of needing to think about this more, needing to be absolutely certain that there are guarantees of success before they move forward. And it feels like that is something that has cost them different sorts of opportunity for happiness, for wish fulfillment, or just even kind of new and interesting experiences. And so they get that. All the signals are sort of indicating, or there's some kind of shift in you and how you've approached them, how you're approaching this situation, or even how responsive you are to them, that it's now or never. They have to do something, or you're going to kind of just set your sights elsewhere. The first one we have is Antelope Spirit. Life is speeding up. It feels like this is a big leap of faith forward that this person is getting ready to take. Something that will catch your attention. Something that will be very unmistakable, sort of like, yeah, I get it, I've gotten the message. I don't want to miss out on this. I don't want to just kind of sit on the bench and let this opportunity pass me by. This is somebody, it feels like, that is having to push themselves out of their comfort zone to not be totally closed out of your life. They don't want to end up in that Five of Pentacles energy. They might almost feel that they are at this point, or that they've kind of given you no other option but to continue to just move forward in another direction. And so there's a sense of, don't leave me behind, don't count me out. They might have been sort of slow to take action up to this point in time, or they've been trapped in their head, or any kind of changes that would be required that they'd have to make in order to accommodate this connection, in order to facilitate this connection. There might have even just been the idea of, if they've been single for a while, or they've kind of kept their options open, waiting for that spark, waiting for that absolute yes. And then you've come along and it's kind of like, here it is. That action of kind of moving beyond just sort of scanning the horizon or being very situated in their own energy in order to make room for another person in their life, instead of just considering themselves. They're considering themselves and another person, maybe future plans that they had in place of, it's just me to count on. I have me to rely upon. And now it's like I gotta answer to somebody else or factor in these considerations. If there's distance between the two of you, a long distance, then it can be like, how do we make this work, or what do we need to do in order to kind of bridge that gap and bridge that distance between us? And the idea of anything that would have to sort of take place in order to physically get closer to one another that could have sparked a lot of fear of change within this person, where it's almost like, I like my routine, I'm in my comfort zone. Everything is predictable. I'm kind of controlling my environment, controlling my circumstances. And yet it's very unmistakable that there is a connection between the two of you. There's a spark. There's a lot of possibility. There's a lot of potential. They don't want to miss out on that. And so this is somebody that feels like they're getting ready to be very bold with their declaration that lets you know, hey, don't count me out. We may still have work that needs to be done or things that I need to do on my side of the equation to create space for this, or come out of a place where I'm just looking at myself and my day-to-day. Reality is like, I only have me to count on. I only have me to think about and just operating in like a single energy. Into now it's a +1, now it's a partnership. What all would be involved in that? There's something that they're wanting to bring forth to let you know, like, yeah, I'm moving alongside you. I don't want you to just become somebody that exists in the realm of what if. I don't want to always wonder what might have happened if I had taken action. So they've gotten the message from you loud and clear. And again, it's something that it feels like they want to surprise you. It's sort of like, I didn't think that you'd be capable of something like this. I didn't think that you'd take like this big of a leap of faith forward. This may be somebody that's getting ready to open up a lot about a lot of their fears and hesitations, or sort of, they start talking about those future plans. They start being more active in their communication or their participation with you, that it feels like is going to change your perspective of how you might be almost kind of writing this connection off, or you've been sort of detaching, and this is somebody that is kind of like, wait, don't count me out just yet. We also have Moth Spirit, surrender now. So for all of the unknowns in this situation, for all of the fear of change that might have been sort of keeping this person just intellectualizing something, not listening totally to their heart and their feelings, but just like, I need to think about this, I need to strategize, I need to work out the logistics, or they've been kind of counting obstacles between the two of you, rather than sort of capitalizing on opportunities or blessings. All of that, it feels like, is about to change. Something that will again kind of be this sort of spark in the darkness, something that catches your attention of like, whoa, I'm not just somebody who's going to slip out of your reality. I'm not just someone who is content with you walking away. This is something where it's almost like this person has just been at a standstill. Not that they've ghosted you, but they almost weren't putting in a lot of effort to try and keep you, to try and claim a spot in this new chapter of your life or your reality. And so you're like, I guess that's it. I guess this is just a seasonal connection. This is a temporary experience. I guess I'm not really what they're looking for. Or you had even started to question, are they what I'm looking for? Because you have more love to give, or you're looking for something more in terms of a connection with another person, and they just weren't matching those sort of efforts on your part or giving you any indicators that they were on the same page with you. And this is something that again, they can feel you moving forward. They can feel you detaching. They can sense that it's kind of like, I need to do something, or I'm just going to be a footnote in this person's story. I'm just going to be a memory. They're going to move forward, or someone else is going to come in and sort of claim them, claim a place in their life that there's been an open invitation for me to step up and occupy that, and I haven't done that yet. And so this is again kind of the spark in the dark, coming out of that darkness, coming out of that period of just like being set in my ways, I'm comfortable in my routine or anything, where they've gotten kind of complacent in this situation. And it might not have even been anything where they were trying to overthink or they didn't know what they were going to do, but it might have almost been where they're like, yeah, I thought everything was fine, I was comfortable with where we're at, but it seems like you're trying to move forward. And so this is kind of like now this person stands up, now they do something. Now they make that proclamation or that expression to you in some sort of way that lets you know like, hey, they may be slow to take action, but this is somebody who is very interested in remaining a relevant part of your life and building forward with you in the future. We also have Swan Spirit, time for a deep dive. So this could be a deep conversation, an emotional expression that may be very surprising or very sudden from this person. It may be something where what they confess to you, what they share with you, it might even be just kind of like, I'm hearing a man of few words. So maybe something where it's just like a short conversation, but it's meaningful what they say. It really gets the point home to you on an emotional level, without them needing to write all these paragraphs or be in this kind of long and sort of drawn out thing. This is almost somebody that may be just more of an observant person, but when they speak their words hold gravity. Their words kind of change the environment or the climate of the situation. And so they definitely again are kind of aware or alert to the fact that, yeah, I need to take some sort of action, or you're just going to move on with your life. You're going to move forward. They understand that they have given up to a certain point, but it is now time within the situation, or you're the type of person where you're like, I need more. And they don't want to be that individual in your life that is like, yeah, this person wanted more, I could have given more, I felt more inside, but I kept that truth within. So this is something where they're shaking themselves out of their comfort zone. They may be looking around at any kind of quick changes that they need to make, adjustments that they need to make, plans and preparations that need to take place, that it's kind of like, let me fast track that. I don't want to just buy time or sort of be slow to change or be someone who's very set in my routines, very comfortable in my ways. Or they've kind of just been almost operating on autopilot of sort of like, yeah, I'm searching for that spark, I'm searching for that potential, I'm single, I only have myself to answer to. And it's kind of like it's taking time for sort of the mind and the heart to catch up to the fact that it's like, yeah, you're someone in the here and now that has real potential for partnership, real potential for long-term satisfaction. But in order to really align with that timeline and move forward with that with you, it requires them kind of coming out of that sort of autopilot, coming out of sleep mode, getting into that state of wakefulness where it's kind of like, I'm present, I'm here, I'm alert in this situation. Where are we going moving forward, because I don't want to miss out on this. I don't want to lose this opportunity with you because I was simply just kind of sleepwalking basically. So this is something where it's almost kind of like their mind is having to sort of alert them to the fact that, yeah, this is a real spark, this is a real connection. This is something really worthwhile in terms of investing in, exploring further, doing whatever they need to do in order to kind of get your attention back on them, so that you understand that they want something more in this situation. It is not lost to them. The uniqueness of this bond between the two of you, and this is somebody that's like, yeah, let's figure this out together. Let's figure out what we need to do moving forward. What do you need from me? What do you require? What do you want in this circumstance? How can I put forward some sort of effort, some sort of action that doesn't just kind of please you on a surface level or let you know like, yeah, I'm interested, but also kind of resonates with you on an emotional level, that I'm not just trying to kind of capture your attention in order to remain relevant, but that I'm moving in that direction of I want to deepen this emotional bond between us. I want to deepen this connection rather than miss out on it. We also have Wolf Spirit. Turn knowledge into wisdom. This is somebody that knows that this is a unique connection between the two of you. They know that this is very rare. This is very exceptional. This is something that is what they want at this point. Maybe even something that they need to get them out of an energy of, if they've been single for a while, they've been in that lone wolf energy. And this could be kind of like, yeah, the idea of partnering up with another person. They might have been like, I need to think about that. I need to think if I'm ready for that. And they've thought about it and they keep thinking about it. And you're like, well, I want that too. I want a partnership too. And if I'm not getting that from you, if you're not giving me these indicators that we're trying to build in that direction or we're on the same page, then I owe it to myself to move forward in the direction of aligning with someone who is. And so this is something where again they're having to kind of shake themselves awake, shake themselves out of this energy of just like, this is the identity that they've taken on, of it's just me, myself. And in order to move in the direction with you of sort of like, yeah, let's work toward building an us. Let's work towards an alignment with one another. I've been happy in my singlehood. I've been comfortable by myself. I've been fine on my own, but I don't want to miss out on the potential of something beautiful just because that's become a status quo for me. And I got comfortable in that, complacent in that. It's almost like this person might not have even expected to feel what they feel for you, maybe as quickly as they have or in the way that they have. And so it's almost like, wait, let me check in with myself. Let me make sure, is this right? Is this what I'm wanting? And they've been overthinking things and it has not been working to their advantage. So this is somebody that they again don't want to miss out on that opportunity with you. There's an instinct within them that is telling them, like, as much as this might require sort of changing certain plans or a certain way in which they've been living their life up to this point in time. And this is bringing to mind almost somebody that could just be like, yeah, if we get into a partnership and I've just been living like a bachelor, I'm going to have to start cleaning up. I'm going to have to start doing dishes. I'm going to have to start making my place presentable so that I can have somebody over, and I don't want to do that. Because it's easier to just let those dishes stack in the sink. It's easier to kind of just have that mountain of laundry. It's easier to kind of just come home and sort of zone out in front of the TV. But now I need to kind of make the place presentable. Or if it's somebody that's at a distance and kind of like, well, this has been something where we've been at arm's length with one another. And we're talking when we're talking. We're checking in when we're checking in. And you obviously want something more, or it's at the point where it's like, yeah, let's take this to the next level. If I'm not taking that action, then all of a sudden I'm back to a dry phone. All of a sudden I'm back to like, where is that person that I really like talking to? They're gone all of a sudden. Why? Because I didn't take action. So this is somebody that is again sort of thinking about like then those check-ins or those communications or even plans to get together with one another. I'm going to have to kind of stick to a schedule. We're going to have to be more accountable to one another. And they might have been thinking about like, am I ready for that? Am I ready to have to kind of answer to another person in that way rather than kind of just living my life for me or sort of doing what I want when it's convenient? And so again, this is something where they see that this connection with you is enough to kind of break them out of that comfort zone of whatever had been the routine, whatever had been kind of the mindset or the pattern. It's like I need to very quickly sort of switch gears so that there's a different kind of rhythm that I'm sort of putting forth in my life in general. And also in terms of the connection between the two of us. So it has the opportunity to develop into something more rather than just kind of sit in like a bag of regrets. Or in an energy of what if, what might have happened if I had taken some sort of action. If I had kind of gotten out of my own way and really started participating in this or sort of fought for this connection before the possibility of it went away. We also have seahorse spirit, watch and wait. So this is definitely the energy of watch. This person's going to take action in a way that is going to help you to see that the potential is not past its expiration date. There's still a lot to work with in this circumstance. This is somebody that might have been very sort of complacent, very sort of just nonchalant, go with the flow, let's keep it open, let's keep it casual. And they're about to step up in a big way that lets you know like we still have work to do with one another. There's still a distance to go, but we have both turned the page into a new chapter with one another. This is somebody that is coming out of that sleep mode and into that place of alertness like, whoa, I can sense that you're detaching. I can sense that we've reached the end of the line with the nature of our interactions so far. And I don't want to be somebody that is kind of replaced with another person. I want to take this opportunity here. I want to seize this moment in order to let you know, like, yeah, I wasn't just here wasting your time. I wasn't just here out of convenience. I wasn't just kind of having these interactions with you out of loneliness or out of nothing better to do or something where I didn't have kind of the courage to speak on, like, yeah, I don't really think that there's a connection. So let's go our own separate ways. That might have been something where you're kind of like, well, they're not exactly ending things, but they're not doing anything to progress the situation forward. So I guess I just have to cut my losses. This person's aware of that on some level, or they can sense that. They can feel the shift within you. They're very cognizant of that. And so there's a sense like, I don't want to miss out on this. So I know that it is now up to me to put forth some kind of action. It's up to me to make my intentions known. It's up to me to show that I can show up in this circumstance. Not ask for more time. Not ask you to be patient with them. Not ask you to wait or kind of say, I don't know what I want. This is somebody that's kind of like, I need to take that leap of faith forward, and what I want is you. What I want is this. What I want is this next opportunity between the two of us. So those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. Like or comment to claim these energies. Subscribe to my channel if you would like to see more content that I put out here. Don't forget to hit the bell button to get notifications every time I post a new video. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well.